Hello, Durud and Shalom. Hi, guys. Okay, fantastic. I think everything is working. Let me know in the chat if everything is working so I could get started with peace of mind. I don't see. Let me see. I think we're live. You guys have my audio? Yes, I think you do. Okay, good. Let me see my favorite people. Guys, we're doing Nick Fuentes today because we haven't. I think we might get too much Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan overdose. We better basically go to like change it up a little bit, right? Like I think we're gonna get sick of seeing that man's face. We need to deal with a different type of cancer today. And this guy is very like Nick Fuentes. I don't know if you guys know this, but he's actually really big right now, like really, really big. Okay, and he's not on YouTube, but this guy down here on the bottom left, he goes and cuts out parts of it that are more important, so I don't have to basically listen to his long live streams. So this is good. This guy goes. I mean, this guy's bad because he agrees with Nick Fuentes, but he serves a good purpose for us. He goes and basically finds the most important perspective from Nick Fuentes that he's putting out in the world, and we get the chance to respond to it. Let me see who's in the chat here. All my favorite people are here. Nora is here, Leo is here, Soapbox is here, Amir is here. Fantastic. You have Chicken Bird is here, Sarah, and then Fun Sun, Sayed, Texas, USC Trojan, BT is here. Amit, I don't know what's the name. Amit? Yes. Okay. Good. Yes, Doug. Good morning, everybody here. Okay, we could get started now that you guys are here. We could get started. Let me see what is. Let me make your text bigger so people could actually read what you're saying. And they're saying, Armin, have you seen the clip where Fuentes says he would like to see Iranians destroyed by the regime? Yes, I've seen that. Actually, can you send that to me? Because maybe in one of these streams, I'll show it to you as a reminder to people of how garbage of a human being this person is. Good morning, Nemo. All right, let's get started. Oh, look at this. Wasim saying, hey, Armin, your favorite Palestinian ex-Muslim is back. Well, love hearing that. Thank you. All right, let's watch this.
Why are we at war with Iran? Well, we are at war with Iran because Israel bombed them last year. And Israel bombed them last year because they're in a war with Hamas and Hezbollah and Assad and the Popular Mobilization Force and the Houthi rebels. Because this is part of a multi-year, multi-front campaign to decapitate the Iranian regime. And Israel's been pursuing it for...
Wait, hold on. Got cut here.
Rebels. Because this is part of a multi-year, multi-front campaign to decapitate the Iranian regime. And Israel's been pursuing it for 3 years. And they've only just...
Yeah, for good reason, by the way. For good reason. Oh, we got our first super chat. Thank you so much, Jedi. You think any super chat today? If not, first, LOL. You can, Jedi, you are the first. Thank you. And again, look at this. Amir, thank you so much for keeping count. And Jedi, thank you so much for the support. Appreciate that. Oh, and also Jedi with a second super chat saying also Nick sucks. He does. Yeah. Fun Son is saying, I wonder why. Yeah, I wonder why Israel is trying to decapitate the Islamic Republic. It's not like the Islamic Republic has been trying to wipe out Israel off the map for the past, 47 fucking years. Yeah, I wonder why. Oh, and look at this. We already got to our third super chat. What the hell? Thank you, Amir. Thank you. Saying Ali channel can get super chats and members now. Really? He got monetized. Congratulations to Ali. Okay, we're going to talk about it later today. That's fantastic. And look, Amir is counting his own super chat as well. Thank you, Amir. I appreciate that. Texas is saying he's a garbage human being and I use human being loosely. Okay. Good one. Okay, let's watch this.
Gradually roped us in to fighting this battle with them. By fighting in Yemen, by shooting down Iran's missiles, by finishing the job for them with Midnight Hammer against Iran's nuclear facilities last year, roping us into this once and for all regime change attack this year. It's Israel's war. Israel has been the engine of all of it, and they've controlled the tempo, and they've created the provocations. They have been.
It's not just Israel's war; it's America's war as well. Because I know this, he would never admit it, but the Islamic Republic, the main reason why they want to destroy Israel is because Israel is in their way for them to destroy the United States. That's why they want to destroy Israel. They're fighting Israel because Israel is in their way. So this is America's war as well. I mean, I know this. I grew up in Iran, and this was what was said to us. Israel is a little, since childhood, growing up in Iran, they always told us. It was in our books. It was told to us by our schools. It was on our TV, even in our cartoons, and it was written on the walls. It was written on our walls in the streets as I walked to school from my home. I could see it on the walls. Israel is a little Satan. United States is the big Satan. The point is to get to the big Satan, you have to kill the little Satan first. That is the Islamic Republic ideology. So it was always United States war. From the very beginning, it was always United States war.
And the catalyst and the trigger for all of it. And so even if the United States and Iran are able to find a creative solution to some of these problems, and they're able to bridge the gap, and they're able to make concessions, and it would be extraordinary. It would be something miraculous if that happened. What you always have to consider is that Israel will not allow it. And there was something funny that happened this week. So the U.S. and Iran and all the Arab countries, all the Middle Eastern countries got together and are working towards this MOU. You've got Iran and the United States. You've got Pakistan and Qatar. You've got Saudi Arabia and the UAE. You've got Oman and you've got Jordan. You've got Turkey. Every country is involved in this deal. Every country is lobbying the United States.
It's not a deal. You just said it was an MOU. All of these countries are being involved in this memorandum of understanding. It's not a deal. So what are you talking about? You just said an MOU. And Jedi, thank you so much for the super chat. Jedi saying, I will reveal myself today before discussion. But by the way, yeah, thank you, Jedi. You have been helping us a lot today. I appreciate that. Saying also, I'm so happy Ali can get super chats. By the way, I think you have a pretty good guess who I am. I don't. I will reveal myself today before discussion. Oh, in the discussion group, you're gonna tell us who you are. Okay. Sounds good. Ooh, okay. So Jedi is involved in our discussion group, and we don't know who he is. I think it's Noah, so we'll see. And saying, I'm so happy Ali can get super chats. By the way, I think you have a pretty good guess. A pretty good guess. That's now I see what you're saying. Yes, of course, because you talk like Noah. You talk like Noah, so you must be Noah. We'll see. And thank you again for the super chat.
States and Iran to make this deal. And Trump has called all the world leaders, and they all agree this is a good deal. And then we call Israel.
That's bullshit, by the way. They didn't agree that this is a good deal at all. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Where did you get Texas? Where do you think his sources? Where, like, you think that Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Qatar, UAE, they all were in agreement that President Trump was like that MOU, which is not a deal. Like, they're all happy. They're all happy where this is heading, but it's Israel that comes and ruins everything. You see how fucking retarded this man is? I mean, he's not retarded. He's actually pretty smart, but he's taking advantage of his retarded audience. He wants to make it seem like the whole world is civilized except Israel. He wants to pretend that everybody was trying to get on the same page to figure out how to stop this war and de-escalate this. And he calls the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, a deal that every single country was getting on the same page on. And then they called Israel, and Israel was the one that ruined it. First of all, fuck you. Fuck you for lying to your own audience. There's no way everybody was happy on that call with President Trump and everybody was on the same page. Trump was just telling them that this is what we're going to do. And there's basically, this is how it's going to be, whether you like it or not. The United States is the superpower. It's not like these people can complain much. He was just trying to get them to understand that this is how he wants it to be. I'm not saying he will be able to force them completely, but it was him lecturing them. And a lot of, like, look at, you know how I know he's being dishonest? Because you know what Trump was telling these countries on the phone call? Trump was telling these countries on the phone call that you better get into the Abrahamic Accord. This fucker is telling you that they all liked it. Do you guys, do you think Pakistan likes the idea, welcomes the idea of normalizing relationship with Israel? You know, they came out and said fuck no, right? You know, they came out and said that. Do you think Pakistan even has, I mean, even Saudi Arabia right now doesn't have the political capital required to be able to go and say sure, let's normalize relationship with Israel. They're not in that position. They're afraid of their own Jew-hating population. So do you think Qatar is going to be like, sure, let's normalize relationship with Israel? Why not? You see how he's lying? He's telling his audience that everybody was like, yeah, this is great, let's go with that, except Israel. Listen to this.
MOU. You've got Iran and the United States. You've got Pakistan and Qatar. You've got Saudi Arabia and the UAE. You've got Oman and you've got Jordan. You've got Turkey. Every country is involved in this deal. Every country is lobbying the United States and Iran to make this deal. And Trump has called all the world leaders and they all agree this is a good deal. And then we call Israel. Then we call Israel last. After we call everybody, we call Jordan, the Saudis, the Pakistanis, we call everybody. And then once everybody's on board, where does the buck stop? Who has the final say? Who's really the boss? Then Trump calls Israel. And what has been reported in the Israeli press is that Netanyahu is furious.
See, he wants to make it, he's trying to sell to his audience the idea that Israel does not like peace. Other countries are trying to get peace. It's Israel that is in the way. And he lies in a way that is so demonstrable that is false. Like, he specifically said that every country was happy with that deal. You guys heard that, right? He said every country was happy with that deal. That's fucking bullshit. I've been following the Saudi accounts, like Saudi officials. They're acting like they're outraged. In fact, the idea that Netanyahu is outraged is an allegation, not confirmed, but the Saudis are virtue signaling to their own audience, to their own internal audience inside Saudi Arabia. Publicly, they're outraged that we're not going to be told by anybody to normalize relationship with Israel. Our demand still is and forever will be a two-state solution before we could even talk about that. By the way, they're bullshitting. They hate the Palestinians. They wish the Palestinians never existed. But they also understand that they can't say that. So, in fact, if there's any public outrage, it's coming from the Saudis, from the Qataris, from the Pakistanis, from the Egyptians. The Israeli outrage is alleged and hasn't been confirmed. You see the difference here? You see how he's lying? We know Pakistan would not be happy with the idea that you have to normalize relationship with Israel. We know that. But he just told his idiot audience that is not informed about geopolitics. They have no idea about how any of this works and how these countries' internal politics works and how it relates to every other country in the region. He just told them that, oh, everybody was on board, but it's Israel that is ruining it. It's Israel that is not letting peace happen.
Netanyahu and the Israeli government, they're not even hiding it. It's all over the Times of Israel, Jerusalem Post. They are all saying this is...
Oh, we got another super chat. Wow. Guys, we're already halfway there. with our super chat goals. Thank you so much. Agent Anderson is saying Nick Fuentes was in the chat yesterday with his little hat name. What is that? Wait, I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. I don't know actually. Never mind. I don't get the joke.
Lousy deal, and Trump should never trust the Iranians. Think about their mouthpieces in the United States. Laura Loomer, Mark Levin, Randy Fine, all saying the same thing, which is resume the war, more defensive strikes on Iran. You can't trust them. They'll never agree to anything, and so on and so forth. Now, like we talked about before, one of the key points in the deal is that Iran needs us to get Israel to stop bombing Lebanon. Those are part of Iran's terms and always has been. From the first ceasefire until now,
not bombing. They want you to stop bombing. They want Israel to stop bombing Hezbollah, not Lebanon. Lebanon is not Hezbollah. Lebanon is occupied by Hezbollah. But I know you're too retarded to understand this.
To get Israel to stop bombing Lebanon.
Yeah, and think about, like, I wonder if Nick Fuentes is going to point out how ridiculous of a request that is from the Islamic Republic. Like, he's talking about an alleged deal between the Islamic Republic and United States, and part of the deal is what this third independent nation state has to stop doing for its own national security. A nation state that is not even a signatory to the deal. Do you think is Nick Fuentes going to point out how retarded that is? Hezbollah is throwing missiles from Lebanon at people in northern Israel, forcing Israelis to have to evacuate that region and abandon their homes. Every nation state's responsibility would be to respond to that threat, attack the source of that threat. And the Islamic Republic is telling United States that if we're signing a deal, one of my red lines is that you have to stop Israel defending itself against a threat to its civilians, even though Israel is not even signing this deal. Is Nick Fuentes going to point the fact that that's retarded, how insane that is, or is he just going to blame Israel?
Those are part of Iran's terms and always has been. From the first ceasefire until now, Iran and even Pakistan have insisted it has.
By the way, why is that? Is he going to ask why is the Islamic Republic's terms something that is happening in Lebanon? Is he going to ask that? Is he not going to see that this is a sign that the Islamic Republic is not even Iranian? It's an occupying force. It's a Palestinian occupation of Iran. Is he going to mention that the Palestinian cause have occupied Iran? This is why the Islamic Republic is obsessed with stopping the attacks on Hezbollah even more than the attacks in its own borders, within its own borders.
Has to be a ceasefire.
Guys, these questions that I'm asking you are key. You need to memorize these questions and remember to ask it of other people when you're talking about this topic. Every single question I'm asking you, it's basically the Achilles heel of the anti-Israeli agenda. So memorize these questions and ask them when you're talking to people about this. Oh, look at Comrade Shifty. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being a member for 6 months. Saying, oh, look, Adolf Fuentes just joined. Javid Shah. Javid Shah, back at you.
Iran and even Pakistan have insisted it has to be a ceasefire on all fronts, not just in the Persian Gulf, but also in southern Lebanon.
Yeah, that's not the complete picture. Guys, I'm using Nick Fuentes to tell you what the complete picture is, okay? The Islamic Republic has requested and said that this is its red line, that we want complete ceasefire indefinitely with guarantees by United States and Israel, who's not signing any deals with us, against all our proxies. When I say proxies of the Islamic Republic, meaning terrorist groups, indefinitely. That's a red line. And also, I kid you not, they came out and said, we want these groups to be removed from their terrorist designation. They should be from being a terrorist group. That should be the terrorist label should be remain from these groups as well. So imagine, and what are these groups? What are these groups? Ceasefire on all fronts. That means United States and Israel should stop attacking Hezbollah, Hamas, Hashd al-Shabi, Kataib Hezbollah, Fatimiyun, Zainabiyun, and the Houthis. And the United States should stop calling them terrorists. You should remove them from that category. And there needs to be guarantees that you will never be attacking them ever again. That's what they're asking. That's the more complete picture of what they're asking. Does Nick Fuentes know that? And if he knows that, is he going to mention that? Because you know why you wouldn't mention that? Because you're trying to make it seem like Israel is being unreasonable. But if you tell people everything I just told you, you will realize that it's the Islamic Republic that is a force for chaos in the region. It's the Islamic Republic that has retarded demands. That it's the Islamic Republic that is an obstacle to peace in the Middle East and beyond. Not Israel. Israel is a force against this agent of chaos. Oh, Jedi just celebrated his 1 month membership, saying, didn't realize it's been a month since I joined. Well, thank you for being a member for 1 month. I appreciate that.
Back then, Israel said no. When Iran told the world that a peace in Lebanon was the only thing that would compel them to open up the Strait of Hormuz.
It wasn't the only thing. It was one of 5 things. Oh, my God. Why don't you, guys, this guy is right now one of the world's biggest political commentators, and he doesn't even know the basics of what he's talking about. And he gets millions of people watching him, and he doesn't even know the basics, the very basics of the topic that he's covering. That wasn't their only condition. That was one of the 5 conditions. Okay, look at this. Shauna, thank you, Shauna. Shauna just gave us a super chat saying, because Nick Fuentes wants to break the US and remake it in his own Roman Catholic image. Yeah, and actually not just Roman Catholic, a lot beyond just, Roman Catholic version of his own ethno state. And thank you so much. Yeah, we're at 6, guys. We're already 6 out of 10 super chats. Thank you so much, Amir. And then Jedi just gifted 1 membership to somebody in the chat. Thank you so much, Jedi. Thank you for the gift.
Thing that would compel them to open up the Strait of Hormuz, Israel launched their deadliest attack on Lebanon up until that point in the war. They killed hundreds of people.
Thank you, Israel, for killing terrorists. And also, this was a great response by Israel. Israel, in response to the Islamic Republic saying our demand for a ceasefire is for Israel to stop attacking Hezbollah, and they call it Lebanon, but they mean Hezbollah, is to do one of their most aggressive attacks on Hezbollah. Basically, this was a fuck you from Israel to the Islamic Republic, making it very clear that they're not going to be able to be pushed around by the Islamic Republic, and the Islamic Republic is not going to determine what Israel does. This was a perfect response. Whenever you demand something of Israel and to stop doing something, and they do exactly that 10 times worse, that's how you demonstrate deterrence. That's how you say, go fuck yourself. This is how Israel told the Islamic Republic to go fuck itself. Paul, thank you so much for the super chat. Saying, Armin, we need you on Nick's show. He's not going to have me. First of all, if he ever watches my show, he would realize that I know too much, and he wouldn't be able to respond to my facts. So there's no way that he's going to have me. There's no way he's going to talk to me. But thank you for thinking highly of me. like that. And I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. And let's continue. Guys, like everything I'm telling you, it's a level of information that the vast majority of the people out there talking about the current situation in the Middle East have no idea about. Like, like, I hope you guys understand that the points I'm giving you, if you look at most commentators on this topic, they don't know this. And even when they hear it, they don't know what to make of it. Say it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Wow, we're getting to our goal really fast today. That's pretty cool. Like, you guys are amazing. Thank you. Okay, Roman is saying this is one of the greatest channels in YouTube to watch and learn. Well, thank you, Sayed. I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, and we're already at 8. We're already at 8 super chats for today. Wow. Thank you, guys. Oh, no, never mind. We're at 9. Sarah, thank you so much. Sarah saying, love you, Armin. Thank you for your hard work. Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys noticing that I'm working really hard. This is my second stream for today. And overall, we have 4 more to go for a total of 6. And, oh, thank you, Simon. Simon just gifted 1 membership to somebody in the chat. Oh, and thank you. Nunya is saying Armin knows his information. Yes, I think I do. Like, I'm not going to be humble about that. Like, I genuinely think, like, every time I listen to all of these commentators on this topic with like so many views, I listen to them. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I do genuinely like, I don't see that many people, with this level of in-depth knowledge on this topic. Even people who call themselves analysts, apparently.
What purpose does that serve other than directly and
wait, what happened?
Told the world that a peace in Lebanon was the only thing that would.
Let's go back here a little bit because it was pausing. Oh, he was pausing by mistake. I thought I was pausing.
What purpose does that serve other than directly and told the world?
Oh, I thought I'm having an error. This guy down here, he was pausing for no goddamn reason. So I was thinking I'm having some errors.
World that a peace in Lebanon was the only thing that would compel them to open up the Strait of Hormuz. Israel launched their deadliest attack on Lebanon up until that point in the war. They killed hundreds of people.
By the way, thank you so much, Israel. You're one of the most effective force against terrorism in the Middle East and North Africa, and probably even the world, is Israel. Guys, every time you see Israel is doing a deadly attack, that basically means that they're killing, there's less terrorists. Every time you see military operations by Israel, just know that before we had some terrorists with us in this world that are no longer living. They're no longer with us anymore after Israeli operations. So every single Israeli attack should be celebrated by anybody who cares about the world, because the world, every single military operation by Israel means the world just became a little bit of a better place because some cancer tumors were removed, right? So just say, if either say it out loud or just say it in your mind every time you see Israelis are killing. Just say to yourself, thank you, Israel. Thank you for making the world better. Thank you for removing this cancerous tumor from the world. The whole world needs to appreciate Israel for doing this. Oh, and look at this. We achieved our goal for our super chats. Thank you. First, we had Kevin that gifted 1 membership to somebody in the chat. I appreciate you, Kevin. Thank you so much. And then we have another super chat by Shalin. Thank you so much, Shalin. Saying goal achieved. Yes, you got us there. You got us to the finish line. And thank you so much. And then we went above our goal because of Sarah. Sarah saying knowledge is the currency of wisdom. Okay, that's a beautiful quote. I like that. Thank you, Sarah. And then we had Comrade Shifty saying Israel on Durka the Durka. That's good. I like that. Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Shifty. I appreciate that. All right, let's continue.
Well, like what a surprise, right? And this says it all, because do you really believe that, like,
so this guy's, look at it now, you're like, who's talking? Is this guy, is this tiny head at the bottom left. This guy is now speaking. Let's see what he has to say. He agrees with Nick Fuentes. Yeah. Let's see. Look at this.
Attack on Lebanon. Up until that point in the war, they killed hundreds of people.
Well, like what a surprise, right? And this says it all, because do you really believe that like Israel wants to stop this war? Of course not. Like, this is their only chance to like completely destroy Iran. It's almost like their wet dream, but they know that they need us, so they will try to do almost everything to like keep us involved. But at this point, let me remind you that we elected this clown Donald J. Trump, who campaigned with no more wars and America first. How is fighting a war on behalf of Israel again? How is that America first? And what does that have to do with no more wars? Nothing, right?
It has a lot to do with no more wars, and it is America first. The reason why no more it's completely inconsistent with no more wars is because you were in a war already with the Islamic Republic, you fucking retard. The United States was already in war with the Islamic Republic before President Trump came to office. The Islamic Republic declared war against the United States 47 fucking years ago. Maybe know your history before you embarrass yourself in front of your audience. So going into military operations against the Islamic Republic is not starting a war. It's ending a war that other presidents didn't have the balls to try to finish. President Trump is not starting a war with the Islamic Republic. He's trying to end the war with the Islamic Republic. But you're too stupid to understand that. Also, it's completely America first to kill the people responsible for killing more Americans than any other current state in the world. To attack America's number one enemy is America first. I don't know if I need to explain that to you any further. A regime that is trying to destroy United States, attacking them, removing them, making sure they can't have access to nuclear weapons, removing their ability to be a threat. It is the most America first position that you could imagine. And Israel's relationship to this whole thing is that Israel is your best and most loyal ally in the region, right next to your number one enemy. So your response to Israel should be thank you. How could we support you even more than we are right now? That's what your response should be. United States became a superpower partly because of its allies. And United States does not have a better ally than Israel. And you become a strong country by appreciating and supporting your allies. So if anything, Israel deserves the most support because it's the model for how other allies should be behaving. And that should be rewarded. If you want other allies of the United States to do better, to be better allies, you need to reward your allies for other countries to follow. But you don't understand that. Wait, how do you even pronounce that? I have to check. Okay. So BT is saying, poll on what accent this boy has. I think Cajun. I didn't even know what that is. Louisiana? Yeah, I don't know what that's it. I can't tell his accent. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a Cajun accent. But yeah, guys, guess in the chat. Yes? Not so? Yes.
I really think that like Trump should be impeached
also,
because of this, because he
also thank you, BT, for the super chat.
Literally betrayed all of us. And also, let me remind you, how is that America first? And what does that have to do with no more wars? Nothing, right? I really think that like Trump should be impeached because of this, because he literally betrayed all of us. And also, let me remind you, do you know that in Israel they have like free healthcare? Meanwhile, Americans here, they are struggling. They can barely pay their medical bills because everything is so expensive. We sent away billions of dollars to Israel.
You fucking retard. Things would be astronomically more expensive. Astronomically more expensive in the United States if United States was not involved in military operations globally against its enemies and the enemies of world peace in general. How many times do I need to explain this? Should we go over this again, guys? Should we go over this? Things are expensive in the United States. Why are we spending money in outside of the United States? We should bring them back in. We should be a fucking retarded isolationist. You think that would make things cheaper? You guys understand this in the chat, right? Please tell me you understand this. That whatever the prices of goods and services are in the United States, if United States global military presence was not there providing security for international maritime trade, this level of stability and security, if it wasn't available for ships of all countries, that level of risk associated with global trade will significantly increase the cost of trade to the point where everything, not just in the United States, but everywhere else in the globe, will be so much more expensive. You guys understand how unprecedented it is that we have this level of safety and security when it comes to global trade, and it has only been possible in recent history because of the United States military's presence around the world. This is a lesson that you have to hear. When you see here, let me prove this to you. When you see something happens in Ukraine, Russia attacks Ukraine, and all of a sudden food prices go up. When you see the Houthis all of a sudden attack ships around the Red Sea, and all of a sudden everything prices go up. What lesson should we be taking from that? Should your lesson be like, oh, let's bring our ships home? Let's bring our soldiers home? Do you understand that that is a small level of conflict? What you saw in Ukraine, what you see in Ukraine, and what you see with the Houthis, what you see with the Russians, what you see right now in Iran, around the Persian Gulf, all of these conflicts seem such a big deal to us only because we have gotten used to a little level of stability that has never happened in the past 10,000 years of civilization. We never had this much stability, the stability that we have globally after World War II. We have never experienced anything like this. This is why these wars look big to us. They're nothing compared to the wars that human history has been experiencing before all of this. And we think something big is happening. These are nothing compared to what happened. And why is it so? Why is it that these smaller wars look so big to us? Because we haven't seen global superpowers go to war with each other. We only see their proxies go to war with each other now. Why is it that it's such a war and conflict is as at all times lows? It's because of the U.S. military. It's only because of the U.S. military. It's because the United States went for liberty and capitalism and free markets, and its economy grew to the point where it could afford a military where it provides global security for trade globally. And the whole world is benefiting from it. When you see prices go up like that with these conflicts, it means that if U.S. military was back at home in United States and wasn't providing these services to the whole world, if the level of conflict would have been so much higher. That's the lesson. You think that, like, oh my God, we have conflict around the Strait of Hormuz. The United States shouldn't be there because it's causing the conflict. You fucking retards. If the United States doesn't have US bases in the Middle East, that level of conflict that you're seeing right now around the Strait of Hormuz would be so much higher than what you're seeing right now. If it wasn't because of the US military's presence in Europe, Russia would be owning half of Europe. All of Eastern Europe would be Russia right now. And we will have another new Cold War with the new Russian Empire. everything that you're saying, every single thing that you're complaining when it comes to conflicts around the world should be a lesson to you that things would be so much shittier if we didn't have US military bases around the world. You think that if we didn't have these US military bases, the Islamic Republic would be like, oh, I guess I don't have anybody to fight anymore. They would show up at your fucking shores. These people would never stop. The Islamic Republic would never stop. China would never stop. Russia would never stop. North Korea wouldn't even stop. Everybody would become more aggressive. Every time the United States is defending against these aggressors, you think it's the United States that is causing the conflict? United States is stopping the conflict. The level of conflict that we would be witnessing around the world if it wasn't because of the US military would be so devastating for your economy and your security to the point that you wouldn't even be thinking about gas prices and egg prices. You would be even worried about your security at that point regarding the prices of goods, even though the prices of goods would be astronomical. And United States gets to do all of this, because it has chosen a new model, which is genius, rather than the imperialist model where big powers would go before the age of nation states. Big powers around the world would just go spend a lot of military to force their way all around the world in different geographical regions. But here's the thing: United States not only has the world's largest military, but it also has the world's largest economy and the richest customers with the highest purchasing power. So instead of having to spend its military power to go to places and by force and be like, I'm going to stay here, because guys, empires used to be a good thing. It wasn't all bad. Empires provided stability back then. But to be able to provide stability globally, empires had to spend a lot of military resources to force their way upon different places to be able to then provide that security. But United States has a giant economy with a very rich customer base with the highest purchasing power. So instead of going to Europe, to South Korea, to Japan, to the Philippines, to Vietnam, to Taiwan, to anywhere else and saying like, hey, we are forcing our military upon you, they say like, how about you have access to our customers and we trade with each other and I bring my military here with your permission, and this is a win-win for us because you have our customers, we have your services and your goods, and we get your geography for us to be able to exert our military influence, and you get our security because we have our military right in your neighborhood. This is a beautiful model, and it's all consensual, and it's a win-win for the whole world. And among all of these countries that have that relationship with the United States, you know who has been the most useful and the most meaningful partnership with the United States? Israel. Because with every single other ally of United States, the relationship has been, United States has been providing more than they have received. Like the relationship has been that the other country has benefited more from the US military presence than United States, even though United States has benefited as well. But the other country has won more. When it comes to Israel, Israel has provided so much more services to the United States than any other country. When it comes to the amount of military spending, when it comes to helping other countries, United States spends more on Germany than Israel. United States spends more on South Korea than it spends on Israel. But Israel has killed more of America's enemies than Germany. Israel has killed more of America's enemy than South Korea. Investing in Israel has had the highest return on investment for the United States than any other country. These are facts, and you could check every single one of them. But people don't know history, people don't know geopolitics, people don't know finance, people don't understand how militaries work. And that's why they listen to this idiot instead. Guys, every single thing that we enjoy, you have no idea. You who are listening to me right now, let me tell you, you are one of the luckiest motherfuckers in history. You live like a fucking king. And you think like, no, I mean, I don't. Yes, you fucking do. You just don't realize it. You are living a more luxurious and safer and prosperous life than Marie Antoinette. Marie Antoinette, she was one of the richest people of her time. She didn't get to control the temperature of her room the way you did. You do right now. She doesn't get to have access to water for cleaning herself as much as you do on demand. She didn't have access to entertainment as much as you do. She didn't get to not experience the pain of getting her teeth pulled out the way you do. She didn't have access to the food diversity that you have right now. She didn't have access to that. Your life today is, and if you have internet and if you have time to listen to me right now, there is a close to 100% chance that your life is more luxurious and safe and stable than all the kings and emperors in 10,000 years of human history, of civilization, of the history of civilization. And this level of prosperity and this level of stability and this level of peace is not fucking normal at all. And we don't appreciate it because we were born into it and we think this is normal. And the reason why this is now normal is the current new nation state model that started in Western Europe, but put in practice by United States. Put in practice by this whole new model, this whole new world model was designed in Western Europe, but was put in practice and then globally enforced by United States. It was first practiced properly by the American Revolution, not the French Revolution, but by the American Revolution. And then eventually after World War I, World War II, and the Cold War, it was then enforced globally. And there are enemies of this model. The enemies of this model is Islamic imperialism, Putin, and the CCP. That means that everything that you enjoy today, every right, every freedom, every amount of stability, security, peace, prosperity, access to goods, the lifestyle that you enjoy is thanks to a model that is being held in place by the US backed Western world model, and the enemies of this world model that are trying to bring the whole thing down are your enemies. If you're listening to me, you might not know this, but these enemies are your enemies. And if you understood what I just told you, you will defend America and all of America's allies every chance you get, because America is defending everything you care about. And this is why we support Israel, because Israel is the role model of the ally. Israel stands between America and her enemies more effectively than any other nation state. And by doing that, Israel stands between all of that evil and all of us. This is why we support Israel. And this is what, as an Iranian, we remember that Iran was used to be in this position as well as an ally of the United States. And this is why supporting the Iranian people against the Islamic Republic is also supporting the whole world. Because if you could get, because the Islamic movement took away Iran and now is trying to do the same thing with Israel, but if you free Iran from the occupation of the Islamic Republic, not only these forces cannot go to the next phase of taking out Israel, they will go one step back, they will lose their achievements in the past 47 years. You will undo whatever they actually managed to gain. This is why freeing Iran, this is why supporting Israel is supporting the world. This is why supporting the Iranian people is also supporting the world. This is why supporting Ukraine is supporting the world. This is why supporting Taiwan is also supporting the world. And this is why supporting the United States is also supporting the world. Sorry, that went for too long, but I think I needed to put all of that in one section. Let me know if that was helpful, because I needed a complete explanation of all of this for people to like. I'm going to cut that part out and put it out as its own standalone video to just send to anybody who just makes these retarded claims next time. Agent Anderson, thank you so much for the super chat. Saying, step one, claim Jews are children, are hidden overlords. Sorry, the screen is far away. Okay, step one, claim that Jews are hidden overlords because you can't criticize Jews. Step two, criticize and hate Jews 24/7. I love that you said that, Jen Anderson, because these fuckers always say that you can criticize everyone except Israel and Jews, and they criticize and Jews all the fucking time. I don't know where this is like, oh, to know who oppresses you, see who you can criticize. And then what the fuck are you talking about? You guys, it's the most profitable thing to do is to be anti-Jewish and anti-Israeli. And these people want to cry like they're the victims for being silenced. Who's silencing you? It's the best way to grow your channel. It's the best way to gain an audience right now, is to just spew anti-Jewish nonsense. Exactly. Perfect summary, by the way. Perfect summary. Thank you so much. Paul is saying, thank you so much for the super chat, Paul saying, in Israel, we pay Social Security. It's not because of $4 billion from America. America also has free healthcare, but the money is stolen by migrants. So the $4 billion that people talk about as U.S. aid to Israel is so small. If you look at Israel's military budget, is like very, very small compared to their military budget, right? And I think that the problem with healthcare in United States is too much government involvement, and these idiots want to solve it by more government involvement. Apparently, I mean, these people are supposed to be on the right, so I don't even know what they're talking about, right? It has nothing to do with the money that United States gives to Israel. It has nothing to do with that. If you want to fix the healthcare situation in the United States, maybe allow there's a lot of things you could do, but the first thing you could do is allow insurance companies to compete with each other, stop these monopolies, increase more competition. There's so many things you could do. Becoming an isolationist is, you're not going to save money from being an isolationist. You're going to lose money. You're going to lose money by not being close to your enemies. The cost of dealing with your enemies will be astronomically higher if you wait for your enemies to get to your borders. It will be astronomically higher. So whatever you could have afforded before helping Israel, you would be able to afford it even less if you abandon your allies. Your allies have saved you money. United States, your allies, especially Israel, have saved you money. The cost of U.S. military deployment against your enemies are astronomically higher than having your allies fight them instead. The cost in money and in American lives. You know, by the way, they say like, oh, Israel has free healthcare. There's nothing. There's no such thing as free healthcare. By the way, thank you so much, Paul. You know, I don't want to derail the discussion, but every time you hear free healthcare, what they actually mean is that you're paying for that healthcare, but not when you go to the hospital and not when at the doctor visits. We're going to charge you in a different place through taxes, and we're going to charge you so much more. People feel like they're saving money from healthcare because they call it free, and you're just not paying for it at the doctor's office or at the hospital. Oh, you're paying for it. You are paying. You're so paying for it, and you're actually paying for it more. You are paying for it so much more. Okay. So free healthcare. Whenever you hear free healthcare, just read more expensive healthcare. That's what that means. Amir, let that person stay. So Amir, you silence somebody. It's okay. I don't mind it. So, by the way, thank you for modding, Amir. But the person you silenced said, Armin, did you hit your head when you jumped? Leave that guy. Was he spamming? Because if people are attacking me, I want to see it. If people are I love the insults. I genuinely do. So it's okay. Let them be. They're good. They're funny. I love the insults against me. Don't, unless they like flood the chat to the point where you can't read them. Oh yeah, you gave him a timeout. That's okay. But let them. It's okay. I like to see them. It's not only for that line, and it was just 67. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you, Emmy. Okay. You know what? I shouldn't. As somebody who thinks that believes in liberty and allowing people to make their own decisions, I shouldn't be micromanaging you, Amir. Okay, like, thank you. I should just be thankful that you're a mod here. Okay, sorry if I was telling you what to do. Okay, you do you. But in general, I like to see the insults. And I appreciate that, though. Thank you. I hope you don't think I'm being ungrateful. I want to tell my the mods in the chat to not ban people for like insulting me and stuff like that. But every time I say that, I feel like I'm being like, they help so much and they keep everything organized in the chat, and I feel like I'm being ungrateful to everything that they have done. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Amir. We're saying it's okay. I respect your opinion, Amir. Thank you. Okay, we got 3 super chats. Oh no, I already read that one. We got 2 more super chats. Way above our goal, by the way. Thank you, guys. Sean is saying anti-competition laws are destroying Americans' health. Exactly. You want to save money on healthcare? Stop hiding your Jew hatred with like, oh, we can't afford healthcare. There's a fix for that. And Shauna gets it. It has nothing to do with Israel, you fucking idiot. It has nothing to do with Jews in Israel. This is you just trying to come up with a mask for your Jew hatred. And Shauna saying, within healthcare, most people know this. Yep. I mean, everybody who studied healthcare in the United States knows that we need more capitalism to reduce the cost of healthcare in the United States, not less. And Mayans, thank you so much for the super chat, saying these kind of people are the true Israel first. What? Are the true Israel first? First, a way to see what we decide, and by that decide the opposite. Okay. They are the most Israel first. Oh, I get it now. Okay, let me read that again. These people are the most Israel first. First, they wait to see what we decide, and then by that they decide to do the opposite. Yep. I mean, they're the first to jump on whatever Israel does too. So yeah, they are definitely Israel first. Yep, I get that. Yep. Thank you, Mayan. Thank you for the super chat. Omid, Omi, thank you so much for the super chat saying the evil side of me wants the Muslims to win so I can watch people like Nick react in real time. Okay, don't be that evil, Omi. I know you're joking, but never be that evil. Thank you, Omi. I appreciate that. Because there's gonna be so many other people who are gonna suffer as well, not just this fucker.
Give them so much military aid. We all have a lot of money from that. That's your money, taxpayer money. And then the government is telling us, no, we have to raise the taxes here or everything will be more expensive. Also because of this stupid war. Take a look at the oil prices. So we are struggling here more day after day. Meanwhile, they can live there for free almost with our money. This is so
they're not living. Oh my god, they're killing your fucking enemies with that money, you fucking idiot. They have saved you more money than the money that you spent on them. This is an average Nick Fuentes audience, by the way. This tiny head at the bottom left.
Fair. This is not America first. This has nothing to do with no more wars. It's ridiculous. Can we stop? Can we stop like fighting wars on behalf of another country? Can we stop like being held hostage by another country? Is that like too much to ask for? Because it almost looks like it.
What purpose does that serve other than directly and specifically to undermine a deal and sabotage a deal to prevent future diplomacy? Not only did that sour the ceasefire.
What's sabotaging a deal is that the red lines of United States and Islamic Republic are so far apart that there's no way to bridge that gap, at least as of right now. So I don't know what you're talking about. You want Israel to stop attacking its enemy that is bombing its citizens so that you could have a deal? What the fuck are you talking about?
And Iran immediately closed the strait and said the deal is off. But it also poisons future diplomacy because what it communicates is that Washington has no influence over Israel, which they don't. And if that's the case,
if Washington doesn't have any influence over Israel, why did the 12-day war stop exactly when President Trump asked it to be stopped? What the fuck? Washington has no influence over Israel? Was it President Trump that asked for the Israeli pilots to come back and stop the bombardment, and Israel was forced to stop the 12-day war? Is that not influence? Like, do you not follow the fucking news?
Then Iran cannot trust the United States. And there's no rapport and there's no trust, and therefore there could be no future deal. So they sabotaged the first ceasefire, and what that did is it made future ceasefires very difficult. And that is their goal. That is what they do. That is what they've always done. And so once again, you have a memorandum of understanding this weekend. It seems like there's been a lot of progress made. According to the rumors, the U.S. and Iran are making some serious concessions. It has the assent of every country in the Middle East. But is there somebody you forgot to ask? Israel says,
first of all, that's not true. A lot of countries are being, justifiably pushed by United States to just accept what United States wants. Whether it will work or not, we'll see. But you shouldn't oh, everybody's on board except Israel. Even if that was true, which is not, shouldn't that be the main opinion you care about? Given that all of these countries have shit militaries, and without Israel in the region, there would be nobody providing stability to that area. Isn't Israel justified to be wanting to be taken the most seriously because there is zero other countries in that region being threatened with absolute annihilation by everybody fucking there, by millions of people there? Guys, I wonder if Israel is justified to care about what are the arrangements that the world superpower is making with the Islamic Republic and every single other country there, given that the country that we're talking about, the state occupying the country that we're talking about, has signaled and tried to annihilate Israel for the past 47 fucking years. I wonder if Israel is justified to be like, well, yeah, I want to see what the hell we're talking about here. And I wonder if United States is justified to want to make sure that Israel is happy, given that United States' goal is to have less military presence in the Middle East. And the only fucking way you could get that achieved is by relying on Israel. Because Saudi fucking Arabia is not going to be able to provide security in the Middle East. The UAE is not going to be able to do that. Who the fuck do you think? You think Qatar's military is going to be able to secure the Persian Gulf? You think Turkey is going to do that? You think Egypt is going to do that? Who is going to do that? You know what? I forgot Kuwait. It's Kuwait. Kuwait is going to secure the Middle East. So United States could go focus on the Dundro Doctrine. I mean, you believe in the Dundro Doctrine. Don't you want the Dundro Doctrine? You think United States could just pack up and leave the Middle East? The only way you could save trillions. Here's these people. Look at this, guys. These people are talking about $4 billion. $4 billion is pocket change. Pocket change to what United States will be able to do once the Middle East gets to a situation where Israel's hegemony over that region and their security umbrella is recognized as the only way to bring peace in the Middle East. When more countries accept this reality that the only way to bring peace to the Middle East is to normalize relationship with Israel and appreciate and accept their superiority and go under their security umbrella. When you get to that point eventually, as we finally did with the UAE and Bahrain, when you get to that point, that's the only point when United States could significantly reduce its military resources and spending in the Middle East. That's the only way that this would happen. And the money United States would be saving when that happens, it's in the trillions of dollars. Trillions. And those $4 billion that United States spends on Israel will look like nothing. With nothing compared to how much the taxpayer would be saving once this happens. This is the point of the Abrahamic Accord. And if American understood what the plan is and what that would mean to every single American and every other citizen of every other country around the world, they would be backing the United States on this plan 100%. And they will also be backing Israel as their major ally that would eventually be able to save United States all of that money, as they already have for so many years. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. This is very important to get. And Amir, thank you so much. Our official Santa Claus. We haven't still officially declared who is our official baker for the cookies when the people who are reviewing get something obvious right. But we know Amir is our official Santa Claus. But eventually we will have an official cookie baker for our chat as well. And thank you, Amir. Thank you for the gifts.
We don't like the deal. So what do? They launch an all-out attack on Lebanon all over again. Not kidding. We have this MOU ready to go. They're saying tonight all that needs to be done is for the deal to be signed. We're going to go to Camp David tomorrow. The whole cabinet's coming, and this is it.
The deal to be signed? This person doesn't even know what he's talking about. The MOU, not the fucking... Do you know the difference between the MOU and the deal? He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Do you even follow the news?
This is the deal. And again, it's a ceasefire on all fronts. That is what gives us the deal. What does Netanyahu do? He says over the weekend, we are never ending the war in Lebanon. As a matter of fact, we're going in. And this is from the New York Times. Again, it says, quote, Prime Minister Netanyahu on Monday signaled that his country's fight with the Iranian-backed Lebanese militant group Hezbollah would actually intensify. Despite an American-brokered ceasefire that took effect in April, Israel and Hezbollah have continued to clash, with each side accusing the other of violating the truce. The fighting has recently escalated, exposing the limits of the fragile agreement. In Mr. Netanyahu's video statement on Monday night, he said the Israeli forces had in recent weeks killed more than 600 Hezbollah militants and indicated the military would intensify the pressure. On Sunday, he said that Mr. Trump had, in a weekend phone call, reaffirmed Israel's right to defend itself against threats on every front, including Lebanon. So this is what we're talking about all the time. And let's just say something.
Yeah, but Nick, can you tell us what do you have against that? Have you not seen that Hezbollah is attacking civilians in northern Israel? What do you expect Israel to do? Just be like, I guess they're having an MOU. I guess we're not going to respond to that. Like, what the fuck are you like? What is the expectation here of Israel? And I'm sorry, guys. I ask as if we don't already know. Tell me in the chat, because I think you guys know the answer to this question. What is it, the one thing that Jews could do for these people to be, okay, we're now satisfied? There's one thing, because we have seen people say, like, Armin, these people would never be happy. Even if we do this, they will still find another way to accuse us of something. Even if we do that, like they say, do this, but if we did that, they would accuse us of this. There's nothing that these people, that we could do, that would make these people stop accusing and condemning us. There is one thing. There is one thing that Jews can do that would make these people stop attacking you. Yeah, exactly. You have to roll over and die. Okay. If the only thing you could do for these people to be like, okay, we're satisfied with you, we're not going to condemn at least those people, is to just let these Jew haters to come and kill you and just roll over and die. And then that's the only thing you could do for these people to be happy. Just stop fighting and just let them come kill you, apparently.
Let's just say something very explicit, which is that if Israel did not exist.
Oh, no, not that, Sarah. Sarah's saying give them Judea, Samaria, and leave. No, they're not going to let you go. They're going to come hunt you for. In fact, Sarah, that's actually a good thing. I'm happy you brought it up, because if you give up Judea and Samaria and leave, they're not going to attack you more. They're not going to attack you more. Okay, the more of Israel that you lose, the more defenseless you are. In fact, if you give up Judea and Samaria, now they have the best base of operations against Tel Aviv now. So there's no way that that's going to make them happy. Yeah, true, exactly. No, other than what I said, just rolling over and let them kill you, there's nothing that will satisfy these people. Nothing else. There's absolutely nothing else.
The U.S. and Iran would have already had a deal by now. They would have had a deal in 2003. They would have had a deal in 2009.
The deals that you're talking about, like this, look at this. This is supposed to be a far-right guy, but he's basically supporting a retarded Obama deal. Look at this. These fuckers haven't learned anything from the JCPOA. He just wants a deal. He wants a deal with the Islamic Republic with so much funds and sanctions released to the Islamic Republic that will just arm your main enemy. Like, this is the most anti-American take ever. Yeah, 2009 deal. Look at this. Yeah, he's like he just believes in. I don't know how is he far right. He sounds like Obama. These people act like they're America first. When he says we would have a deal in 2009, that means he wants to fund America's number one enemy. The deals that he's talking about involve sanctions relief and releasing of funds to the Islamic Republic, basically funding the main enemy of the United States. And he thinks this is America first. He thinks this is America first. This is funding the enemies of America, apparently is now America first. Bill is saying he's not worth analyzing. Bill, do you understand that these people are getting more and more popular every single day? Like, what we're analyzing here is a representation of everything that is going in the wrong direction right now in America. Believe it or not, anti-Israeli hate is increasing on both the far left and the far right. And in fact, the left-right doesn't mean anything anymore. the arguments that you hear from Nick Fuentes, it's exactly the same anti-Israeli arguments that you hear from the commies and the woke progressives. It's the exact same thing. So I think actually he's worth responding to, because so many people in the United States are believing this bullshit. So we here at Liberty Politics need to practice responding to it. Need to know what the best responses are. Bill saying you're right. He just seems so dumb. Yeah, and unfortunately, so many people are buying into it, right?
They would have had a deal in 2015.
Yeah, exactly. Texas is saying Gen Z and Gen Alpha need to hear the opposing voices. Yep. And guys, we need to have his face here so that more people come and hear this. Like because a lot of people are getting attracted to what Nick Fuentes has to say. So instead of me just coming and telling you what the right narrative is, I need to put his face on the screen, and maybe like once we cut segments from this, put faces of him on the cover, so all the people who are falling for these lies get curious and come and hear the response to it. And that's why I need you guys help. I need your help. Okay, I need you guys to like our videos, share our videos, so that they hear the proper response, because I think on this channel we have the proper responses. Like, we know our stuff here.
would have had a deal last year. If Israel did not exist, the United States and Iran would not be at war. And
if Israel did not exist, the United States would not be at war. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you not know what the Islamic Republic represents? Do you even know their ideology? Do you know the foundations of the 1979 revolution? Do you know what this whole thing was about? He doesn't know. He doesn't even know the basics. If it's because of Israel that you're at war with the Islamic Republic, why is it that the Islamic Republic declared war on the United States right at the beginning of its foundation? The Islamic Republic, without any right at the very first year of the beginning of the Islamic regime in Iran, without Israel doing anything against the Islamic Republic, they went and invaded your embassy in Tehran. The United States embassy in Tehran was invaded by the Islamic regime, and the Americans there were taken hostage before Israel did anything. Israel didn't even want to get, like, Israel at that point didn't even consider the Islamic Republic to be an enemy. They attacked United States first. They did bombings in different places around the Middle East of American soldiers even before they went to Israel. In fact, if anything, Israel was at that point, before the Islamic Republic started attacking them, was using that regime against Saddam. They weren't even treating them as an enemy. It was the Islamic Republic that, in fact, both the Americans and the Israelis were trying to see if they could, okay, now we have a new regime, let's see if we could work with them. United States tried to work with the Islamic Republic, and Israel tried to work with the Islamic Republic. But Islamic Republic started attacking the United States first, even before Israel. They attacked your embassy. They declared war against the United States before even going at Israel. This has been 47 years, and they never stopped. They never took it back. Every single year they chant death to America. They call Israel the little Satan. They call United States the big Satan. They say that they want to destroy Israel because Israel is in the way of them destroying United States. They hate Israel because they think they hate United States because of Israel. It's the other way around. They hate Israel because they consider Israel to be an agent of United States. Not because they don't hate United States because United States is supporting Israel. They hate Israel because they consider Israel to be the influence of United States in the Middle East. It's the other way around. This is the same thing they had against the Shah. They were against the Shah because they considered the Shah to be an agent of the imperialist West. They're against they are, in their mind, against the imperialist West. These people were not, the Islamic Revolution of 1979 was not just Islamic, it was Marxist Islamic. These people became anti-imperialist, so-called anti-imperialist West, and they were inspired by the communists. The anti-Westernism is in their DNA. The literature that gave birth to the Islamic Republic was mostly anti-Western, not anti-Israeli. The book is Gharb Zadegi. Go read those books, Ali Shariati, Gharb Zadegi. Go look at the literature of Khomeini and Khamenei, of Nawab Safavi, of their main inspiration, Sayyid Qutb. Sayyid Qutb went to America and he was disgusted by America. And that his inspiration of creating this new version of modern political Islam against the West was inspired by his disgust for America. And Sayyid Qutb's ideology eventually made it to Iran through Nawab Safavi, which inspired the Islamic Revolution of 1979, which was that entire movement was anti-Western in nature. And Israel was in their way against it, of their anti-Western agenda. What is this retardation thinking? Like, oh, we wouldn't be at war with them if it wasn't for Israel. You're not at war with them so directly because Israel, without Israel, you would be at war with them with more directly. Israel is the wall. Israel is not the reason why you're at war with them. Israel is why you are more efficient at your war with them. Israel is protecting you against a threat that from its very foundation was designed to destroy you. Guys, I grew up with this. We were told they don't hide this. Go fucking read it. Go look at what they put out there. Go look at their entire philosophy. This is not a secret plan. They broadcast this. We grew up with this brainwashing in Iran.
Wouldn't have been at war for years, maybe for over a decade. Israel is the sole, single, exclusive reason that diplomacy is impossible. And the reason is because, as we've said before, it is Israel's interest that diplomacy does not succeed. Israel does not want peace. They do not want a deal. They do not want Iran to be a non-nuclear, prosperous state. And why is that? Because Iran is a very powerful country, because they're a very big country with a very large population, and they are a very rich country. They have 90 million people, lots of territory, lots of oil. They have a huge middle class. They have great universities, great scientists, and they have a sense of identity. The country is 90% Persian. It's not that diverse. And they have a sense of nationality, a sense of identity, which allows them to stick together. Their society is insular, not trusting of outsiders, meaning it's difficult to infiltrate and subvert. So it's
90% Persian. What the fuck are you talking about? And this guy is, by the way, mixing the Iranian people with the regime. Everything he just said was, first of all, he's acting like the Islamic Republic is powerful because of the Iranian people being educated and having a national identity. The national identity of the Iranian people goes against the Islamic Republic, you fucking retard. The national identity of the Iranian people doesn't make the Islamic Republic stronger. It actually makes the Islamic Republic weaker because the Islamic Republic is against the national identity. You're like, oh my God, Iran, he means the Islamic Republic is strong because of the national identity. You fucking idiot. The Islamic Republic works against the national identity. Khomeini, the founder of the Islamic Republic, was against nationalism, was even against Iran as a fucking concept, you idiot. They wanted to use Islamic identity to destroy the national identity. He thinks the Islamic Republic is stronger because of the national identity. He doesn't know that the Iranian people's national identity is a force against the Islamic identity of the Islamic Republic. And he doesn't even get his numbers right. He says that Iranian people are 90% Persian. They're not 90% Persian. They're 60% Persian, 50 to 60% Persian. Where does he get his numbers? Like, he doesn't know anything. If, like, go take your racist ethnic homogeneity, like, you think, like, no, we are very diverse in our ethnicity, and we actually enjoy that. I don't know. You want an ethno state? You want to pretend like the Islamic Republic is powerful because we only have one race in Iran? Nope. We don't have what the fuck are you talking about? Like, around half of Iranians are not Persian. What unites us is not our Persian ethnicity. What unites us is our national identity that goes beyond and above our ethnicities. Look at this. Let me actually show you. Where is Nara? Did Nara comment here? Where's Nara? See, Nara is not Persian. And look at her. Where is she? Nara, say something so I could highlight you. Is she? Oh, there you go. See, you see Nara? With that beautiful lion and sun. Yeah, there you go. You see Nara in our chat? She's not Persian. She's Iranian. She's Armenian Iranian. Look at her beautiful lion and sun flag. These are the Iranian people. We're not Persian. Many of us are not Persian. We're Iranian. We're Persian. We're Azeri. We're Lor. We're Bakhtiari. We're Armenian. We're Kurdish. We're Baluchi. We're Gilaki. You don't understand that. Take your racial supremacist bullshit somewhere else, you fucker. Don't bring that garbage to our country.
Not that their society is insular, not trusting of outsiders, meaning it's
Yeah, Jewish, Arab, exactly. Thank you.
difficult to infiltrate and subvert. So it's not that Israel fears a nuclear Iran or an Iran armed with missiles or an Iran armed with drones or
BT, thank you for the super chat. BT saying, will a free Iran be medium Satan or take our title? Well, we have to compete over that. We'll see. We'll try to be the big Satan in the minds of these Durka people. Being the Satan is actually an honor, right? So we'll see. I mean, given that, maybe I think we will take that away from you because we destroyed their base of operations and center of command. So I think we're going to take that title away from you. Sorry, guys. Oh, this is me having to go soon. Yeah. Sorry, Americans. We're going to be the big Satan.
Controlling the strait or anything like that. What Israel will not tolerate is a powerful country in their neighborhood that exists as a rival. They will not tolerate the existence of a rival.
It's not a rival, you fucking idiot. They're like, Israel cannot tolerate the existence of a rival. They want to annihilate Israel. That's not a rival. That's an enemy. What the fuck do you, like, he's trying so hard to make it seem like Israel is so unreasonable. That is an enemy that wants to wipe you off the map, and they admit it. Mayans, thank you so much for being a member for 17 months. Wow, thank you so much, Mayans. Saying, does Deaf to America say something to... Oh yeah, exactly. Nick, doesn't Deaf to America mean anything to you? Do you not get the hint? Does Deaf to America say something to you, Nick? Like, yeah, no, I don't. I think he's not this stupid. He's just pretending for the sake of getting views and You know, it's profitable to be this retarded these days. I don't know, guys. Do you think like he's pretending? I can't believe Nick is that stupid.
Why? Because there are millions of Shiite Muslims across the Middle East, in Syria, in Iraq, in Bahrain, in Saudi's eastern province, in the northwest coast of Yemen. If Iran is a stable, prosperous country, not only are they a hub of power and culture and finance and influence and military strength, but also they project power into other countries.
If Iran is a stable, strong, prosperous country that is an ally to the United States and Israel, Israel will have no fucking problem with that. And it would celebrate that. It would be in the benefit of Israel if Iran becomes a free country that is as anti-Dorka, if not more, than the Israelis, and would be helping Israel, killing fucking terrorists around all of the Middle East and North Africa. It will bring prosperity and stability to Israel, and it will also bring trade and a lot of tourism between the both countries. Israel will have no problem with that. What Israel has a problem with is a regime that is determined to attack Israel whenever a chance it gets and to eventually destroy Israel. Stop lying. Stop misrepresenting Israel's position for your anti-Jewish agenda, you fuck. Why do people believe this garbage? Why do people believe this garbage? Mayans, thank you so much for the super chat saying this guy is nuts. There's nothing we want more than a free, strong, and educated country with stable middle-class neighbor to us. It's our most deep hope. Yep. It would be so beneficial to Israel. I mean, the main sponsor of their terror in the region and the main sponsor and supporter of terrorism and people who attack Israel, all of a sudden turning into a prosperous, free, secular, democratic country that not only is not supporting Israel's enemies, but is actually helping Israel, fighting them, that has trade with Israel, that exchange tourists with Israel. Do you know how many Israelis want to come and visit Iran? Do you know how many biblical sites are in Iran that that Israeli people want to safely be able to visit? You know, guys, how we know this? You know how we know this? That this would be good for Israel and we would have this relationship? Because we had it! We had this! They're like, oh, they don't want this. They don't want this. Mossad trained Savak. Why did they do that? Why would Mossad train Savak if they wouldn't want that? Do you guys know that before these Islamic fuckers came and occupied my country in Iran, Israel was helping Iran with their intelligence operations? Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, was helping and training Savak, Iran's intelligence agency. Do you know how much we're cooperating in the region with each other? Why would they do? So we know this. We have evidence for this. Unbelievable. And then we have another super chat by Van Die Veld. Thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, I see Shauna as well. We have to respond to that as well. Van is saying, why choose to lose brain cells listening to this? We're not losing, Van, because this poison is spreading and we need a response. How are we losing brain cells if we are using this fucker's famous face as a way to spread our response to this bullshit? Like, my responses to his bullshit is pretty good. So this would be us losing brain cells if we were playing Nick and you weren't hearing my response. But I genuinely think that the responses that I'm giving you, because I listen to other people trying to debunk Nick Fuentes, and I don't see them doing a good job. They don't have the facts. If you listen to what I'm saying here, I really genuinely think that we have the best responses, the accurate responses to this nonsense. So we're not losing any brain cells because I'm speaking and I'm responding to it. And we need to learn these responses. What do you think? Let me know in the chat. And then we got two more super chats. Amir is saying, hold on, where are we at this? Amir is saying, Durud Iran, can I order small Satan plus orange juice? Okay. Thank you, Amir. Thank you for your supporting us. And then we have Van Dyvel saying, fair enough, but I could never do what you do without letting his brain drain affect me. Well, then you don't need to listen to him. Just come here and listen to me respond to his bullshit. And thank you. Thank you for supporting us. Yes, I will read Shauna's now. Shauna, thank you so much for the super chat. Shauna is saying, Nick also wants Death to America so he can replace it with his version of America. That is so true, Shauna. Nick is anti-American. He pretends to be pro. He says I'm America first, but he's against everything that America represents and everything that America values. So he's anti the very DNA of America. So he is deaf to America. He's not America first. He is deaf to America. Let me read that again because that was pretty good. Saying Nick also wants deaf to America so he can replace it with his version of America. And his version of America is very close to the Islamic Republic's version of Iran. And then Shana continues by saying, he says he loves America. He means the America he wishes existed. Yeah, exactly. Perfectly summarized. Perfectly summarized. Thank you, Shana. All right, guys, I think we should end it here. I'm going to go get ready for the next show, Iran Revolution Live, which will start right here in 15 minutes. So just come back here in 50, wherever you're watching this, please come back right here in 15 minutes because I need you guys to keep pumping this channel. So, you know, if you watch the shows live, while I'm live, once the live stream is over, when YouTube sees that, oh, there are many people watching it live, it will push it to more people once the live is over. So that's why I will ask you to make sure that in 15 minutes, when we do Iran Revolution Live, wherever you're watching it, come back right here, okay? So let me just end this now so I could basically go get myself some water and some tea before we go back to our next live in about 20 minutes, okay? All right, guys. See you guys on the other side. Thank you for being here. And guys, remember, today we have a discussion group as well. The link is in the chat. Don't forget that. I'll talk to you guys there. And until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainian, Long live America, Javicha, Payandera. See you guys soon.